Is your gut trying to tell you something? Joe, RxHealthyHabits. I want to go through and talk about your digestive system relative to gut health. And people sometimes think the digestive tract is just about, processing food, but it's a very complex system with a microbiome of good bacteria that's critical that you keep in the right balance of the good bacteria. And I've done some videos on this about how many actually bacteria in your intestinal tract, but there's over 500 different strains of good bacteria. So it's very important that we keep that balance. So I'm going to go through and I want to talk about some of the problems that can occur if your gut health gets out of whack. Just briefly touch on them. And I'm going to read this list because I haven't memorized it yet, but I know a lot of patients, number one, when their gut health is off, talk about the digestive issues, bloating, gas, diarrhea, abdominal pain, constipation, all signs of something's off. Now, the diarrhea symptoms usually occur when you've had antibiotic therapy, but the constipation, abdominal pain, all part of maybe something's really out of whack there and you need to take a look at it. Mood swings, believe it or not, gut health can affect mental health, and they're finding more and more information about this. Anxiety and depression, they're looking at some causality between your gut health being off and anxiety and depression. That's fascinating. I'm sure they're going to be digging deeper on that one. Skin problems, eczema, psoriasis, and acne may be related to poor gut health. How about this one? This is a biggie. Autoimmune diseases, where your body actually destroys some of its own tissues. Rheumatoid arthritis, easy for me to say. Rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, and type 1 diabetes. Now again, these are just some links that they're looking at to see, hey, maybe the gut health could have an impact on some of these, initiating some of the disease states. Not saying that's, 100% gospel. What I'm saying is they're looking at it and they're really trying to figure something out. Here's another problem that can develop is antibiotic gut imbalance. And I've done videos on this. This is a biggie. When your gut health gets out of balance because you took an antibiotic, it kills the good bacteria, kills the bad bacteria. So, and then when that happens, you end up getting some abdominal pain, diarrhea, cramping. I've been there, done that a couple times. So now I'm smarter. As soon as I start on the antibiotics, I start on the probiotic. So here's 5 tips to help you with what you're doing on a daily basis to help maintain your gut health. And that is number 1, eat a very diverse diet, plant-based and fruit-based. So you're going to get a lot of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. This is really going to help, this fiber-rich diet, to really help get the good bacteria going and promote a healthy microbiome. Fermented foods. Now, a lot of people don't realize that kimchi and sauerkraut and some of these other things like yogurt are good because they have good bacteria cultures. So fermented foods, buttermilk. My wife's big on sourdough bread, and she makes delicious cake that she uses buttermilk with her starter, which is all fermented. So remember, sourdough is a fermented product. Stay hydrated. This is key. You got to make sure you get plenty of intake to help with the mucosal lining of your intestinal tract, really help promote good digestion. Stress. They found a big impact on gut health, the high amounts of stress. People that are highly stressful positions, really a big thing. So you got to look at some ways to reduce stress with breathing exercises, meditation, yoga. I know that I have to go out and exercise for me to help with my stress. But limit processed foods and artificial sweeteners. This is a biggie that can really throw off your gut biome. So now here's one thing, and I'm going to end with this. You can eat these healthier foods and try to get a good, microbiome, but if it gets thrown off because especially antibiotic-induced GI imbalance from taking antibiotics, then you really got to take some matters into your hand pretty quickly. The quicker you do it, the better you'll be relieving the symptoms. You got to take some probiotics, and really 2 to 4 hours after the antibiotic dose, I tell patients to take an hour before. Continue taking the probiotics after you're done with the regimen, and some patients go on to take a probiotic every day, but definitely after you're done with the antibiotic, maybe another week or so. I don't think there's any set amount, but stay on them for a little bit and stay on them when you start. Right? Now, some providers say, just skip it, just do it unless you get symptoms. That's true, but I found for myself now, because I've had too many incidences of antibiotic-induced diarrhea and GI problems, I start taking them. That's just me. I recommend it. Increased intake of prebiotic foods. Now, prebiotic foods really help. They're kind of like a fertilizer. They help the good bacteria really get a good start. And those are going to be things, I'm going to read them now. Dandelion greens, chicory root, whole grains, garlic, asparagus, my favorite, kale, another one of my favorites, apples, flaxseed, and green bananas. These are prebiotics. You heard of probiotics. These are prebiotics. These are actually foods that help get things going and create like a good environment or a fertilizer for the bacteria to roll. Engage in physical activity. Here's another good activity. Another good thing to do that can really help your gut balance is to really engage in physical activity. Now that's really going to help increase the beneficial bacteria. And spend time outdoors with animals. Now this sounds kind of crazy, but environmental microbes can help boost gut diversity. Now, gardening, spending time in nature, I think it has something to do with how you're being exposed. Maybe it's breathing them in. I'm not sure, but I know that many people to spend time outdoors have a better gut flora. So it's kind of interesting. Now the last thing is the call to action. Here's what you want to do. If you want to really transform your gut health, I think you really need to do something where you implement 1 or 2 things in your diet each week that are maybe the fermented foods, whole vegetables, fruits, whole foods. Start to incorporate that in now, and I think you're going to find things are going to level out. I know that I have to have a really consistent amount of kale, salads, nuts. I like some of the fermented foods, pickles, kimchi. I've incorporated all those, and I've had very little problems with my microbiome. And now I also, again, tell you that you should really consider the probiotics when you're taking that out. Hope that information helps. Always come to our website, RxHealthyHabits.com. We have a lot of great information in there. We have blogs, we have videos, because I tell you what, nothing's worse than when you're having a lot of symptoms with your gut for many reasons. So, until next video, God bless.